Action!
As far as the role of Daimyo, the thing that appealed to me most was that he's physically marked. His whole life is affected by his appearance. And, you know, being a minority in America, I can relate to that. There's nothing that I can escape by the way I look. And so my interactions with other people, my day-to-day existence is shaped by this. And that's central to his character.
Daniel and I have had a similar trajectory where, you know, we're guys who've worked a lot as kind of character guys in television and in film, and now we're doing this movie, and we have a lot of friends in common, a lot of similar experiences.
Action! Hold on! Stay behind me.
I'm really excited to have an Asian American superhero as well. I know that there aren't very many representations of that in film, and I really want young Asian kids to see themselves represented as superheroes.
You know what's going on here, so I strongly suggest you stop talking.
Daimyo's relationship to Hellboy and Alice is adversarial at the beginning of the movie. He is suspicious of Hellboy, and because of the demon inside of himself, he doesn't trust anyone else who has any kind of a mixed background like Hellboy.
So that's what this is about. Some fairy tale wanker that you pissed off who's now looking for revenge.
He's suspicious of Alice. He's also very skeptical about the supernatural, despite what happened to him. And so he's very suspicious of both of them. But by the end of the movie, they form a very strong alliance, and I think their future looks very good together.
Daniel has so much conviction in what he does. So he's very believable being who Daimyo wants to be himself. Yet he does kind of always leave a little bit of the door open for, well, there's something about him we don't quite know. And Daniel, as an actor, was able to really play with that kind of nuance throughout his performance.
Do you really think that you're the only one who's ever been judged by how they look?
The only one living with fear, struggling for control.
He again is like very skilled, and he's very focused, and he's got a very centered quality to him that reads terrific. He's a very strong presence on film.
I had martial arts training when I was younger. I was very physical as a kid. My background is Korean, and so I studied the Korean martial art Taekwondo, and I still stay very active. It's part of my lifestyle. So I love it when the characters I get to play are physical. It really helps me embody the character, and I get a sense of freedom when I can work my entire body and just not this. There are 3 fights that my character has, and I think of them like choreography, and I think of them like dance. And it was really fun to work with all the stunt guys who are really exceptionally well trained, and I really had a lot of fun on those days.
Mark?
Nice one, boy.
What attracts me to Alice is she's not like a damsel in distress type of girl, you know? She's very much her own person. She's very strong, and she just has like this cool vibe to her, and she's been through a lot.
Are you okay?
Alice has this history, and she has to play vulnerable because of that history, but also play tough enough to cover up this vulnerability, this sort of abandonment thing that she has going.
Welcome back to the land of the living. Wow. Hardly a scratch left.
Once we saw Sasha's interpretation of what the character was and we spoke to her, we realized she has these amazing qualities to her.
And action.
Please, please don't
she has a lot of attitude and individuality, and she's a very, very, strong personality. And we wanted her to be more of her own character and to be strong in her own right and to have a stronger voice. And Sasha, as an actress, really elevated the character for us.
On camera, she just is luminous. She just has these big eyes, and she's just very beautiful. But I don't mean that just physically. Like, she just has this inner sort of luminous quality to her that's very special.
Working with David Harbour is so fun. He's such a character, and he plays Hellboy so well. Like, he has his whole little grunts that he does, and like, it's actually more normal to see him in the costume than it is to see him in person, which is really funny. I've gotten more accustomed to him as Hellboy, and he just helps me a lot. Like, this is my first time doing like such a big production and doing something so technical, and he's just very supportive.
Action!
The whole preparation for the fight scenes they're really fun, but they're so technical. And like, the thing that I struggle the most with is I'm such a very chill person. When you're fighting, to really sell it, you really have to grunt, you have to punch like full on, you have to really give all of your energy to it. And so like, over time, I got more comfortable with being able to really sell a punch and to really just let all of my energy go into it. And Marcus, who is the stunt coordinator, just helps so much with that. He's constantly like, Sasha, you really gotta, like, this is your fight. It's actually really fun, and like, they make you feel safe, and they make you feel so cool.
Casting Ian and playing Professor Broom allowed us to redefine the character a little bit.
Hold it!
And it led to a lot of discoveries about the story and presented a number of opportunities.
I'll take it from here.
They've made this character more like the original sort of Indiana Jonesy kind of character that he was when he found Hellboy. And the relationship ever since has been that, I think, of like a father and son against the world. So it's rough and tumble. I mean, as he said, no, we didn't play Monopoly together, but I taught you how to fight, a five-eyed monster with a melon baller. So it's more of that kind of relationship,